Good morning, children. Today we are going to start with History Chapter 1 How, When, and Where. Before we start with the chapter, let me ask you few questions. What is history? Why do we study history? What information do we get by studying history? All these sort of questions we are going to explore in this chapter. Children, you may have heard people saying that history is boring because it is all about memorizing dates. But do you think this conception is true? History is certainly about changes that occur over time. It is about finding out how things were in the past and how things have changed now. Children, living in this world, we take things for granted and feel that whatever we see around has always been there in this world. But most of us might have wondered and asked questions to ourselves when we see someone having a cup of tea that when did people begin to drink tea or coffee? Or while traveling in a train, might have thought how people traveled long distances in the past before the age of railways. Or while reading newspaper, maybe we are curious to know how people got to hear about things before newspaper begins to be printed. All such questions refer us back to the notion of time. But time does not have to be precisely dated. It is actually incorrect to fix precise dates to the things that happened over a period of time. For example, people did not start drinking tea on one fine day. They developed a taste for it over time. Similarly, we cannot precise one single date for the establishment of British rule in India or for the starting of freedom struggle of India. So the question is, why to associate history with dates? Actually, this association has a reason behind it. There was a time when history was all about kings and the important events in their life. Historians wrote about when the king was crowned, the year he married, the year he fought important battles, and so on. For events like this, specific dates can be determined. But for something which is a process, it is wrong to precise it with dates. Now, the question is, if not all the dates are important, then which dates are important? Maybe the events and the dates which seemed important to you may not be important for others. To clarify this, let us take one example. The British historians in India wrote about the rule of each Governor General. Their history started with the rule of first Governor General Warren Hastings and ended with the last Viceroy Lord Mountbatten. In the history that revolve around the life of British Governor General, the activities of the Indian simply do not fit. We do not have any space. Our next topic is, how do we periodize? In 1817, James Mill, a Scottish economist and political philosopher, published a massive 3-volume work, A History of British India. In this, he divided Indian history into 3 periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. Mill thought that all Asian societies were at a lower level of civilization than Europe. Religious intolerance, caste taboos, and superstitious practices dominated social life. Mill thought that only British could civilize India. In any case, can we refer any period as Hindu or Muslim? Why there was a need to characterize an age only through the religion of the rulers of the time? Did not a variety of faith exist simultaneously in these periods? Apart from British classification, historians have usually divided history into ancient, medieval, and modern. According to this division, modern era referred to development in all areas like science, reason, democracy, and equality, whereas medieval term describe a society where these features did not exist. However, we know that modern era of British rule did not have equality, freedom or liberty, neither there was a economic growth and progress. Therefore, many historians refer this period as colonial, about which you will study in the next video. A special reference of James Rennell is also given in your book. He was asked by Robert Clive to produce maps of Hindustan. That's all for today. Thank you.